a bright and bright star through the perilous fight, o'er the rampart we watch, with the gallantly stream. And the deep sweat glares above the gave through the night, not a flag was still there, no stage as that star-spangled banner yet waved, o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Okay, we're set for softball action tonight here in Cresco. In the Waukon Indians. Here's the Indian batting line for it, starting things off for the Indians. Batting first, the shortstop, Mari Delaney. Batting second, the third baseman, Isabel Moudry. Batting third, the center fielder, Reese McCormick. The cleanup hitter, Annalise Ellingson at second base. Batting fifth, pitching for the Indians, Isabella Rounds. Batting sixth, the catcher, Bryn Weimiller. Batting seventh in right field, Ransom Mathis. Batting eighth, the first baseman, Ruud Mathis. And batting ninth, the left fielder, Addie Olson for the Waukon Indians. Cadets batting order tonight, starting lineup, Isabel Schlatter will lead things off and play center field. Batting second and pitching tonight for the Cadets, Ainsley Teeling. Batting third, the catcher, Jordan Fisk. Hitting cleanup for the Cadets in right field, Kenzie Gallagher. Batting fifth at first base, Ella Bergen. Batting sixth, second base, Blair Cummings. The seventh place hitter for the Cadets, the third baseman, Tyra Biedekofer. Hitting eighth, the designated player, Peyton Mellum. She's hitting for the shortstop, Kieran Rupert. And batting ninth in left field is Lainey Peter. As we get things ready to go, it'll be Mari Delaney to lead things off for the Indians tonight. Delaney is a senior, playing shortstop, comes into the contest hitting .459 on the season. First, the Cadets the other night defeated New Hampton 10-2 in 5 innings, and then second game was stopped in the bottom of the third. Gets a 4-1. They'll finish that one off, and the Cadets go down to New Hampton in a couple weeks. First pitch comes your way at 7:07 this evening. And we are underway, 83 degrees here in Cresco at the first pitch. Still gets the sign from Fisk. Here comes a 1-0 pitch way up and away, 2-0. Bright sunny night here. Sun field out there in right field. Second base, first base, looking right up into the sun. Wind blowing out to left field at a pretty good pace as the wind's out of the south, so anything hit to left field and center field is going to get some help. A 2-0 pitch. There's one right down the middle for a called strike one. 2-1 now to Delaney. Moudry on deck and McCormick to follow. As we are just underway here in the top of the first. The leadoff batter, Mari Delaney at the plate. Pitch off the outside part of the plate, and Teeling falls behind 3-1. Teeling has the sign. Here comes the 3-1 pitch on the way. That one's in there for a called strike two. So Teeling's got the count full to Delaney. She's back on the rubber, set for the payoff pitch on the way to the plate. Hit hard. Fair ball down the left field line past the diving Biedekofer. Peter hustles over to get it. Here comes a throw to second base, and she's in there with a leadoff double from Mari Delaney. The Indians get things off with a quick start here, and we'll bring up Isabel Moudry, the third baseman for the Indians, who hits 176 on the season. Moudry, another senior for the Indians, the third baseman, right-handed batter, showing bunt. Cats come in tight at the corners, clears the bunt, drops it right back down to Teeling. She'll go to Cummings covering first base. Pitcher to second baseman Cummings covering for the sacrifice for out number one. And Delaney's over at third base with just one away, and I'll bring up Reese McCormick. McCormick comes in with a hefty .516 average on the season. Left-handed batter, that's in the gap in left center field. Long run for Schlatter. She's not going to get it on a diving attempt. That's going to find the fence in left center field. And McCormick with an RBI double. And the Indians are on top here. 1-0 over the Cadets in the top of the first. With a pair of doubles sandwiched around sacrifice butt. Now Annalise Ellingson, the cleanup hitter, steps in. She's hitting .429 on the season. The Indians come in 2-10 on the season overall, 0-6 in the conference, but they're off to a quick start tonight. Pitch up and away for a ball, 1-0. With McCormick, the base runner at second, the Indians already on top 1-0 here in the top of the first. There's a bouncing ball towards Rupert at short. She bobbles it, has to hurry, throws to first in time. Now they got the runner caught off base. Bergen's run to third is not in time. She hesitated a second. And McCormick will make it to third on the throw, but Ellingson retired short to first for out number two. And to bring up the pitcher, Isabel Rounds. Rounds hitting .381 on the season, right-handed batter. Has a called strike one. Rounds a junior pitcher for the Indians. So 2 outs, runner at third. 1 run in for the Indians here in the top of the first. Teeling has the sign, and the 0-1 pitch to Rounds. Swinging foul to the plate. So Teeling gets ahead of Rounds 0-2. Has the sign from Fisk. Here's the 0-2. Popped up in the air on the right side, and that's Sunfield. Schlatter has a call for it and makes the catch in right center field to retire the side. But the Indians pick up a run on 2 hits. No Crestwood errors. They leave 1. We played a half inning. It's Waukon 1. The Guts coming to bat. You're listening to Get Softball on KCZQ. We'll head to the home half of the first inning. Cuts trailing the Waukon Indians by a score of 1-0. It'll be Isabella Schlatter, Ainsley Teeling, and Jordan Fisk, the top 3 batters in the Crestwood lineup, to face Isabella Rounds, who's on the mound for the Indians. Her stats here: she's pitched in 10 games, started 9 of them. She's 2-7 on the season, pitched 44 innings. She struck out 27, walked 17, with an ERA of 8.27. Junior for the Indians. So Schlatter will lead things off, hitting .463 on the season, left-handed batter. Indians will play in tight at third and second, expecting the little bunt or slap hit here. Rounds swings in a big windup and delivers. Shows bunt, takes pitch down low that goes back to the backstop for ball 1, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Shows bunt again. Drops it right in front of the plate. A beautiful bunt. And she is going to beat it out. Beautiful bunted. That died about 3 feet down the third baseline. Third baseman had as good a play as possible on that, but stepped late with the throw to first base, so Slaughter on first. And Ainsley Teeling will step in. He's hitting .545 on the season, left-handed batting sophomore. And she shows bunt, goes it back. There goes Slaughter towards second base, throws down there to the shortstop side, and it'll be a stolen base for Slaughter. So she's in scoring position with nobody out. Gets trailing 1-0, but threatening here in the home half of the first. With Slaughter at second base, nobody out. 0-1 the count to Teeling. Rounds swings in a lined up and delivers. Shows bunt. Nice drag bunt down the first baseline. She's going to beat this out. It's one of those, she got it past the pitcher. And Teeling will keep going to second because nobody's covering second base. So it'll be an infield hit. She's a little drag bunt. It's one of those, once you get it past the pitcher, you're going to beat that out most of the time. Well, that's what she was able to do there. Looks like we're going to get a courtesy runner for her at second base. So Slaughter at third, Teeling at second. And we're going to get Reese. Erica Allendick. Yeah, Erica Allendick, the courtesy runner at second base. So Jordan Fisk will step in with runners at second and third and nobody out. Fisk a .347 average on the season.
Number 17, Jordan Fisk.
Right-handed batting sophomore steps in. Runners at second and third for the Gets. Nobody out. Rounds into the windup, delivers. Pitch up and away for a ball, 1-0. Gallagher on deck for the Cadets. Fisk back in the box if she gets the sign from Coach Denner. And here comes the 1-0 pitch on the way to the plate. It's crushed down the left field line, but hooks foul by about 3 feet down in the left field corner. Got good solid contact there, but just out in front of a little off-speed pitch a bit. The count levels up 1 ball, 1 strike to Fisk. Back in the box, Rounds has the sign from Weinmiller. There's a called strike 2. Catches the outside part of the plate, so just going to hold out 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rounds gets set. She's a huge wind-up, delivers in the air. The shortstop going back and will make the catch. Bobbled it for a second, but hung on to it. To make the catch for out number 1, just to step onto the outfield grass. Fisk is retired for out number 1 and bring up Kenzie Gallagher. Gallagher, .286 average on the season.
Gallagher.
He's got 3 home runs on the season for the Gets. 15 runs batted in. First pitch to Gallagher. Down low for a ball, 1-0. Allendick still leads, still there at second base. Slaughter at third. With 1 out now, gets down 1-0. Rounds gets the sign here. So pitch, nice butt in front of the plate. Rounds has it. Throws to first. Gets the out there. Slaughter will beat the throw home. And the Gets have tied at 1-1. So 2 outs, but the Gets get the run in to make it 1-1, and Allendick checks in at third base. And Ella Bergen will step in at .291 on the season. Bergen, left-handed batting senior, slaps one past the second baseman under her glove. She was playing in tight. We had the second baseman and the third baseman in tight again, ready for the slap, but she was able to slap it by her. And I guess take the lead 2-1 as the courtesy runner Allendick comes across. Now we'll bring up Blair Cummings. She crushes it to center field, a line drive. Bergen will check in at second base on a missile sent up the middle by Cummings. Came into the contest hitting .255. Bergen to second. They'll bring up Tyra Biedekoffer. Biedekoffer with a .277 average for the senior. Right-handed batting third baseman. She'll check in with Bergen at second. Cummings at first. First pitch from Rounds. Way up and away for a ball. 1-0. Catch with 2 runs across here in the home half of the first to lead 2-1. Trying to add more here with a 1-0 count to Biedekofer. Runners at first and second. Foul back out of play. Postseason pairings for the boys baseball came out yesterday. The Gets are going to head down to Starmont High School on July the 5th at 5 o'clock to take on the Owine Huskies. That'll be a first round 2A matchup. There's the 1-1 pitch to Biedekofer. In the end, the right side second baseman's got some trouble, and they'll drop in there for a base hit. Spurgeon's going to score. Comes to third base. An RBI Brooks single for Biedekofer. And the Cats have 3 runs on the board to lead 3-1 here in the home half of the first.
Number 10,
Good softball pairings should come out probably the week of the 4th of July because they start that following week on Thursday night. Followed back by Ullum, Peyton Ullum's at the plate, 275 average. Biedekofer at first, Cummings at third. Pitch crushed to left field. That's going to be the edge of the fence. One hops the fence. Cummings scores. Biedekofer to third. She'll hold up there, and an RBI double by Ullum. And as Ullum crushed that one hop over the left fielder's fence, left fielder's head, 1 hop off the fence. Cummings scores to make it 4-1. Biedekofer stops at third base. And Manny Peter will check in with a 206 average. In the air on the right side towards the dugout on the Indians off the roof over there for a foul ball strike to Peter. The runners at second and third, now 2 outs. Gets 4 runs in the bottom of the first to lead 4-1. As Rounds gets a new ball from the umpire. And we're set to go. Peter back in the box. 0-1 pitch. Bouncing ball towards Delaney at short. She's got it from her knees to first. Just in time for Peter and the Cats. But the Cats come up with 4 runs. They get that on 6 hits. No Indian errors, and Cats leave 2 after 1 complete. It's Crestwood 4, Waukon 1. You're listening to Softball on KCZQ.
Regional Health Services of Howard County welcomes Dr. Keenan Laraway to the provider team. Internal medicine physician Dr. Laraway specializes in primary care as well as treating and managing ongoing health issues for adult patients. He is now seeing new patients at the Cresco Medical Clinic. To schedule an appointment with Dr. Laraway, call Regional Health Services of Howard County in Cresco or visit rhshc.com to learn more.
For your next construction project, call or see Aaron Wemark at A&J's Construction. Aaron does all types of construction, including homes and additions, commercial buildings, pole sheds, steel roofing, shingling, new decks, siding, windows, and all general farm repairs. So for your next construction project, call Aaron at A&J's Construction at 563-419-7054. That's 563-419-7054.
4-1, Cats lead after 1. Over the Waukon Indians, it'll be Bryn Weinmiller, Ransom Mathis, and Ruin Mathis. 7, 8, and 9, 6, 7, 8 hitters for the Indians. Weinmiller, 333 average on the season for Weinmiller, who's a sophomore catcher, right-handed batter. Killing has the sign, delivers. There's a called strike on the outside part of the plate, 0-1. In the dirt, 1 ball, 1 strike. It's up and away, 2-1. And the 2-1 pitch from Teeling on the way. Two hopper to Biedenkoffer, throws across the diamond to Bergen in time. 1 up, 1 down for the Indians here in the second. They'll bring up Ransom Mathis. She is Ransom. I got her as 14, but that's not. She's an 8th grader out there playing right field for the Indians. Getting 667 on the season, which is not very many at bats. There's a nice little bunt. Biedenkoffer's going to have to hurry to first. Nice play by Biedenkoffer to never by a step at first base. So 2 up, 2 down. Now we've got Ruin Mathis, who's a freshman. Big 258 for a right-handed batting first baseman. It's just outside for a ball, 1-0. Big swing and a miss, a late swing there, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Late swing there. She's got a piece of it, though, to foul it down the first baseline. So Keating ahead of Ruin Mathis, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Down low, 2-2. Oh, strike 3 on the outside corner. So 1-2-3 inning for Teeling in the second. No runs, no hits, no errors, no way left. We played an inning and a half. Crestwood 4, Waukon 1. You're listening at Softball on KCZQ.
At Northeast Iowa Motors in Cresco, they are here for all of your automotive needs. These ASC-certified technicians use quality Chevron products for services like oil changes, fluid checks, tire pressure changes, and more. Northeast Iowa Motors also helps with engine repairs, brake checks, drivetrain and axles, suspension, steering, AC, and towing services. Give them a call at 563-547-9994. A family-owned business, Northeast Iowa Motors, Highway 9 in Cresco.
The Route 63 Travel Plaza, the largest truck stop in Chester, offers fuel services, showers, breakfast and lunch, and more. Stop by for their famous Breakfast Truckers special, open 7 days a week, diner open Monday through Saturday. Check out the Route63Travelplaza.com or call 563-565-2631. That's the Route 63 Travel Plaza in Chester, providing comfort and convenience since 1991.
We'll head to the home half of the second inning. Gets up 4-1 and gets batted around in that first inning. So it's back to the top of the lineup here in the bottom of the second for the Cadets. So they'll send up Schlatter, Teeling, and Fisk to face the bell rounds. Just tuned in as we've got a little bit of an early start night. And he's put a run across in the top of the first on a pair of doubles to get their run, and then gets answered with 6 hits in the bottom half of the first inning to get their 4 runs. Schlatter led things off with a bunt single. She's back up here to lead off the second inning. Takes that pitch up high for a ball, 1-0. Should be followed by Teeling with Fisk after that. Laps that one right to the shortstop, Delaney. She had to go about 1 step to her right to reel that in, but 1 out for the Cadets here in the bottom of the second inning. Teeling, she had a bunt single in the first inning. Pulled a bunt pass, pushed a bunt past the pitcher. Was able to beat out, so she's 1 for 1 in the ball game. Takes a strike in there for strike 1, 0-1. Swing and fouls that one straight back to the screen. So Teeling's in the hole now, no balls, 2 strikes. Good crowd on hand tonight at the ballpark. They had youth softball night, so a lot of young cadet softball players out on the diamond between games getting introduced. Now the 0-2 pitch to Teeling. Takes that one up high, 1-2. The girls will get some time off until next week when they'll be back in action. As they've got Charles City coming in here Thursday night, so they're off. Oh, she gets hit on the right elbow. So Teeling will head down to first base. And it looks like we'll have Allendick as the courtesy runner. I mentioned Crestwood will have Charles City at home here on Thursday night, JV varsity matchup, and another JV varsity matchup on Friday night when the Turkey Valley Trojans come to town. And so they get this week off, or a week off from tonight, but then they really pick up the pace with those two games. And then as rounds get set to deliver to Jordan Fisk, crushed is down the left field line, but foul. She was popped up to the second baseman last inning. So after that, and then next week, the following week after that, they've got Monday night. They have travel over to Newman Catholic in Mason City. Newman 9-2 on the season right now. They were rated not too long ago. Then a big doubleheader here on the 1st of July. We'll have the game on for you at 5:30 that night. There's a smash towards center field. It's going to drop in for a base hit. Almost by the center fielder. And they're going to hold. Well, they're going to try to score Allendick all the way from first base, and she is in safe. Fisk needs to hustle back to second base, and she will. We'll call it a single for Fisk. They advance on the air by the center fielder, which allowed Allendick to come around to score and allowed Fisk to go to second base. Fisk lead at 5-1. So I mentioned, I guess, have a conference doubleheader with Decor. They're here on July the 1st. I've got, I believe that's Kira Shea. She'll be the courtesy runner for Fisk at second base. And it gets, that week said Monday night, Newman Catholic. Tuesday night at home against Decor. Wednesday night they go to Waverly. That's June 30th, July 1st, and July 2nd. So Gallagher in with one out, runner on second. Big swing and a miss for strike one. Gets with a run in here in the second inning, lead 5-1. And the other night, after that game was stopped in the bottom of the third, we're going to make up that, finish that game when the Cats go down to New Hampton to wrap up the regular season on Tuesday, July the 8th. So they'll wrap that first game up, complete that, and then they'll have their regular scheduled game against the Chickasaws to wrap up the regular season. Outside, and the playoffs for the girls should start on Thursday the 10th. So hopefully with the Cats record, they'll get a home playoff game, at least the first round, maybe the first two if they can win that first round. Win one the count to Gallagher. Pitch on the way. Foul back to the screen. Count levels off at 2 balls, 2 strikes. So the courtesy runner at second base for Fisk. One out. 2-2 the count to the cleanup hitter, Kenzie Gallagher. He bunted, knocked in a run last inning. The runner on third, she dropped down a great bunt, and Slaughter was able to score when Gallagher was thrown out at first. So a full count as that one's up high. Here comes the payoff pitch to Gallagher, outside ball 4. Well, that's the first walk of the game for Lowndes. Yellow Bergen, she had a single and run scored last inning, 1 for 1 in the night. Brings it, fouls it straight back to the screen for strike one. Pitch to the dirt, gets away from the catcher. A wild pitch is going to advance the runners to second and third with one out. Pitch to Bergen. Wind up the middle for a base hit. Shea comes in to score. To hold Gallagher at third base. An RBI single by Bergen He's 2 for 2 on the night. 6-1 in favor of the Cadets. So Gallagher at third, Bergen at first. Cummings, who had a solid single up the middle of the last inning and came around to score 1 for 1 in the night. She'll step in with 1 out and runners at the corners for the Cadets. Up now 6-1. The bottom inning number 2. First pitch from Rounds, taken for a strike. And Bergen will check in at second base on the steal with no throw. So second and third, 1 out, 0-1 the count to Cummings. Rounds delivers up high, 1-1. Now the 1-1 pitch is Rounds into the windup, delivers. Another foul at the plate. So Cummings in the hole now, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Biedekofer on deck for Crestwood. Rounds rubs the ball down a bit now. She toes the rubber. Gets the sign from Weinmiller, the 1-2. Hit. Oh, a diving stop by the third baseman. He throws it home, but too late. Great stop out there by the third baseman, Modry, but she might have had a better chance at first base there, but she decided to come home and not in time. So I go to fielder's choice for Cummings. Gallagher scores to make it 7-1. Bergen to third. So first and third forget, still just 1 out, and Biedekofer singled and knocked in a run last inning. Cummings heads down to second base without a throw, called strike 1 to Biedekofer. So Cummings at second, Bergen's at third with 1 out, and 0-1 the count to Kyra Biedekofer at the plate. 3 runs into the inning, gets leave at 7-1. In the air to center field, a mile high, not terribly deep, but should be deep enough to score the run from third, and Bergen will score as the ball gets cut off by Rounds at the plate, so it's a sacrifice fly for Biedekofer, her second RBI of the night. And it's 8-1 Twins. Bring up Peyton Ullum. She had an RBI double last inning off the fence and left center field on 1 hop. So Cummings still at second, but now with 2 away. There's been fouled wide of the bag at third. So 0-1 to Ullum. 4 in the first, and now 4 so far here in the second for the Cadets. He's got a run in the top of the first. It's 8-1 Crestwood, 0-1 the count to Ullum. As Rounds delivers. Crushes out to left field. That's way back. That's way back. That is over the scoreboard from left field. That one's into the cheap seats. Well, she crushed that one. A 2-run shot for Ullum. He now has 3 RBIs on the night on that 2 RBI home run. And the Cadets have a 10-1 lead with 6 runs here. And we batted around again. Lainey Peters come up. With 2 outs and nobody on. She rounded out to end last inning for the Cadets. Let's see if she can keep the second inning alive here for Crestwood. Called strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Bouncing ball to Delaney at short. She's got it. Throws across the diamond in time. Through Tyra Peter for the second time this season. The Cadets come up with those 6 runs. They get that on 3 hits, 1 error, and nobody left on base. 2 complete. Let's lead 10-1 over the Waukon Indians. You're listening to Softball KCZQ.
CUSB Bank, CUSB Bank, because because a home equity line of credit is flexible. Use it to consolidate debt, pay off credit cards, finance your child's education, do home improvements, and more. Consult a CUSB Bank lender today to find out more about our no closing cost home equity lines of credit. Call or visit CUSB.com for the details. CUSB Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
For something that just hits the spot, head to Susie Q's, Cresco's spot for fine food and family dining. Susie Q's opens bright and early at 5:30 every morning and serves breakfast all day long. And some of their menu includes fresh, never frozen beef burgers, soups and salads 7 days a week. Be sure to check out their daily specials, including their popular Friday night fish fry. And that's Susie Q's on Highway 9 East in Cresco.
It's up 10-1 as we head to the third inning. We're going to turn it over to Gabe Slavin to take us into the third inning. Take it away, Gabe.
Thank you, Joe. We're going to start off with the Waukon Indians batting. Final batter in the lineup, Addie Olson, who's batting .333 so far in the year. First pitch is going to be fouled on the first one, tipped from the Ainsley Teely pitch. That's going to start to count 0-1. Teely so far on the day has allowed 2 hits, 1 run, and 1 strikeout so far today. And the 1 run coming in the first inning. Olson with a 0-1 count off the foul. Going to be another foul ball. Just getting a piece of it, rolling back to the catcher. 0-2 count now to start this one. Next up will be Mari Delaney, who had a double in the beginning of the game to start this one out. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a high one. It's going to extend the count, 1-2. So far in the day, Waukon has gotten 2 hits so far. And the last at-bat was Ruin Mathis. Got struck out looking in the second for Teeling. Looking to strike out another. That's going to be popped over to second base for Cummings. She's going to throw it to Bergen for the 4-3 throw-out to start this inning off. Over from second base, hit over to Blair Cummings on a little two-hopper. Got it just in time to Bergen before the run counted, before she got on base, make that. Next up is Mari Delaney. Like I said, she was at a full count, hit a double over to third base, and extended it all the way in for the first run of and only run of the day for the Waukon Indians. First pitch for her. Hits it, pops it up all the way over to Lainey Peter, and she's going to catch it for the fly ball over to left field. And a quick 2 outs for the Waukon Indians, who are looking to get a little bit of offense going here in the third inning. Down 10 runs to 1 to the Cadets. They're going to turn to Isabel Moody, who had a 1-3 sack bunt in the first inning as well, to move Delaney over to third base. First pitch, thought about it. It's going to be high ball. 1-0 count so far. Billy has not allowed a hit since the first inning. Thought about it again. This time it's going to be outside on the pitch. 2-0 count. Big swing and miss there to cut the deficit down. 2-1 count now, this time for Teeling. All infielders are growing near the grass. Thought about it once again, but outside and on the left corner. 3-1 count now. Malia, third baseman for the Indians. 0-for-1 so far today, looking to get on base. And that's going to be just in the zone. Looked a little bit underneath, but gets it just inside to raise the count to full. No runners on base so far for the Indians. Dealing with the full count pitch, and that's going to be a huge swing and a miss to close out this inning, and that will be Cadets on bat once again, up 10 runs to 1 here on 102.3 KCCQ.
Imagine the ultimate comfort system. Imagine unsurpassed levels of comfort without sacrificing energy savings. Imagine tapping into the free energy found in your own backyard. With a water furnace system, you'll no longer have to decide between comfort and energy savings. You get both. Contact the Water Furnace Geothermal experts at Johnson Comfort Systems, Inc. in Lime Springs at 563-566-2346 and imagine no more. It's now a reality. Johnson Comfort Systems, Inc. 563-566-2346.
The Ox and Run Spirits and Gifts is the hidden gem of Cresco and has it all from a wide array of spirits, gifts for anyone and everyone, and for occasions all year round. They have party supplies and snacks for any event you need. Wonderful customer service, the best prices in town, and is the best place in town to gather together to shop, drink, and relax. Visit them on Highway 9 East in Cresco, and they wish the very best to all the cadet athletes in their upcoming sports seasons.
And welcome back to Crestwood softball field as the Waukon Indians take on the Crestwood Cadets. And the Cadets have been guns a-blazing here early in the game, as for both the first and second inning, they went through the entire batting order and have scored 10 runs off of 9 hits as well. Now starting off for the count for the third straight time is Isabella Schlatter, who so far is 1 of 2 on the at-bats with a flyout over to shortstop just outside the grass. First pitch for Schlatter. She's going to pop it over to shortstop once again, who's going to throw to first base. That's going to be a 6-3 throw out once again. Next up will be pitcher Ainsley Teeling, who was last hit by pitch in the second inning, make that. In the first inning, she hit a little bunt across the pitcher's circle, getting on base in time. With 1 out now for the Cadets. Pitch is up, and that's going to be just underneath for the first ball. 1-0 count with 1 out here for Teeling. That one's going to be just outside again in the dirt. 2-0 count now for Teeling. First time this in all 3 of her at-bats where she's been ahead of the count. Looking to take advantage. No runners are on base so far for the Cadets. That's going to be inside and going to be inside once again and high. 3-0 count now. Potentially looking for 4 straight balls here for Ainsley Teeling. Here's the pitch. Shows bunt, and that's going to be a strike straight down the middle to extend the series 3-1. On the pitch. She looks, takes a big swing, pops it up over to shortstop, who's going to make the play. That's going to be Mari Delaney again, making another play on it. This time a flyout towards shortstop Delaney. Now it's Jordan Fisk up to bat, who was popped up over to Delaney once again in the first inning, but hit a single over to center field and advanced to second base on the at-bat as well after a miscue. High pitch on the first pitch of the series for Fisk, making the count 1-0. 2 outs so far, no one on base for the Cadets after a red-hot start in the first and second inning, scoring 4 and 6 runs respectively. And it's going to be popped up over to center field, looking to make the play, and that's going to be an excellent play on the catch there by center fielder Reese McCormick to shut down the series for the Waukon Indians and extend us to the 4th inning, make that. You'll hear that on 102.3 Super C Radio.
Today on Hey Culligan, smooth skin and soft hair comes from where? Here's Mike.
Hey Culligan, I've tried every conditioner, lotion, and body wash known to man, and my skin still feels like sandpaper.
It could be your water, Mike.
Oh, that's harsh.
More like hard water. Are you interested in smart, high-efficiency water softeners from Culligan Water?
Huh?
Want baby smooth skin and soft, luxurious hair?
Yeah, can you hurry? I have a date tonight.
We're already on the way, Mike.
See Culligan in Cresco, a family-owned business since 1976, serving Howard, Winneshiek, and Chickasaw counties. Call 563-547-4014.
Do you have questions about Medicare? Get your questions answered from someone you can trust. Call your local Medicare expert, Brian Mittius, with CIA Insurance in Cresco at 563-547-2382 to get started on finding the right Medicare solution for you. I'll help you pick a plan that balances your budget needs with comprehensive benefits. Finding the right Medicare solution for your needs has never been easier. Call me, Brian Mittius, and get started today.
Welcome back to Crestwood Softball Field as the Waukon Indians take on the Crestwood Cadets. And as of right now, the Cadets are leading in the top of the fourth, 10 runs to 1. And, Joe, this has been a very interesting start for the Cadets, who the bats were flying high really early in this one.
A lot of offense, a lot of good contact by the Cadets. And I want to take this opportunity to remind everybody that next week the mighty Howard County Fair kicks off on Wednesday. Stay tuned to Super C. We'll have lots of coverage of the fair for you all week long. So that gets underway on Wednesday right here on Super C.
And as we go back into action, Reese McCormick is up to bat, who had an RBI double over to center field early. Shows bunt on the first at-bat, but falls in foul ball near catcher Fisk.
Also want to throw out there, Gabe, that normally game scheduled next week right now, but we're going to check to see. We might try to get one in there for you. The Cats are going to be home Thursday night and Friday night in softball against Charles City and Turkey Valley. So stay tuned to Super C during the week, and we'll let you know our upcoming coverage.
Big swing and a miss there for McCormick.
Otherwise, we'll have July 1st right now as our next scheduled broadcast with the girls hosting Decorah at 5:30 in a big Northeast Iowa Conference doubleheader.
0-2 count so far from McCormick as Teeling looks to shut out another inning. High ball over near her head on this one to extend the series 1-2 strikes. McCormick had to duck for that one. No outs, no one on base for the Indians. Like I said, McCormick had an RBI double in the first, which sent Mari Delaney home. Another outside ball, this time for McCormick. Hitting the dirt. 2-2 count so far. Teeling has not allowed a runner on base for the Indians in the past 2 innings. Big pop-up over to right field, which will be Gallagher making the play on it, directed by Cummings. That's going to be the first out of the inning as a flyout over to left field.
That's that tough field with looking up into the sun. As the sun setting out right now, is the right side of the outfield and the infield looking right into the sun on that play.
First out for the inning for the Cadets. Off of the fly ball over to left, or make that right field to Gallagher. Now it's Annalise Ellingson up to bat for the Indians, second baseman, who was thrown out from Rupert to Bergen in the first as well. First pitch was high. She pops it over in between shortstop and center field. That's going to be a base hit there for the Indians after the first out. Got enough juice on that to get in between the area between center field and shortstop. Got just in the grass in time.
Teeling had retired 9 in a row up to that base hit by Ellingson.
Next up is Isabella Rounds, pitcher for the Indians today. And she hit a fly ball over to center field to Isabella Schlauter, who made the play on it in the first inning as well. That was to close out the first inning. First pitch is outside, which is going to be a ball on the right-handed batter, Rounds. Pop fly over behind us in the press box, so it's going to be foul. Sending the count 1-1. Not a cloud in the sky here at Crestwood Softball Field, which means I don't think it's possible to have a rain delay today, which is a good sign. 1-1 count. Teeling just underneath the zone in the dirt. 2-1 count now. Up next will be Bryn Waymiller, catcher. After this at-bat, it's going to be a little two-hopper over to the shortstop, mishandled by Rupert. Attempts to throw it away, and that's going to be another base hit this time for the Indians, with Rounds making it to first. That's going to be an error there for Kieran Rupert on the throw, which is going to be leave 2 runners on base so far for the Indians. Now that leaves Rounds on first, as well as Ellingson on second.
Have a courtesy run after a pitcher at first base is Haley Miller. She's running for the pitcher Rounds for Waukon.
Top of the fourth here, Cadets lead 10-1. Now we have Bryn Waymiller, who was thrown out in the second inning from third base over to first base on a bunt attempt. No good. Runners on second and first so far for the Indians with one out, one ball on this at-bat for the catcher. Pop fly over behind the press box once again. Breaks Thiele even so far in the count. Here's the pitch, another outside ball, which is just going to find its corner in the zone, giving Thiele another lead in the count so far. That's looking to limit any sort of damage that the Indians can make here. At the top of the fourth, one runner in scoring position, and a big swing and a miss there for Thiele, strikes out Way Miller. That is going to send us to Ransom Mathis with 2 outs on this inning. Runner still on second and first, which will be Miller as a pinch runner on first, as well as Ellingson on second right now. Thiele with the first pitch of the at-bat with 2 outs. Fly ball on the outside, going to create a 1-0 count. Let's lead 10-1. And a huge swing and a miss there ties it up for Thiele. 1-1 with 2 outs. Currently only allowed 1 hit and 1 error in this inning. 1-1. And it's going to be popped up over in between second and center field. Once again, Schlotter's going to make the throw with a runner going to home, and that is going to be the first run of the inning with runners on third and second so far. That is going to send Ellingson home for the second run of the inning for the Indians. Make that second run of the game. That's going to send the base runner over to third base, Miller, as well as Mathis over to second. And now here is Ruin Mathis, the first baseman for the Indians, and was struck out looking in the second inning to close out the second inning. That's leading 10-2. Outside pitch creates a 1-0 count. After the big pop over for Ransom Mathis to center field, that's going to find its way in the zone straight down the middle for Thiele to even the count 1-1. Next up will be Addie Olson, left fielder, who she was thrown out in the third inning. Another inside pitch is going to find its way in the zone once again, giving Thiele the lead in this at-bat. Counts 1-2 with 2 outs, runners on third and second. Indians looking to make damage. That's going to be a ball just on the outside for Thiele. Ending the series. Mathis looking to get more runners in for the Indians. Outside pitch again creates the count full. First full count of this inning for Thiele. Looking to try and shut out the Indians. And that's going to be just inside the zone, and that's going to be a big strikeout there for Thiele to retire the inning. Cadets lead 10-2 here at Crestwood Softball Field. We'll be right back for the bottom of the fourth here on 102.3 Super C Radio.
Is persistent joint pain, swelling, or stiffness impacting your life? It could be more than just wear and tear. Now expert help is right here in Decorah. WinMed proudly offers rheumatology services with Dr. Matthew Samek, a board-certified rheumatologist. He treats conditions like rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, gout, and osteoporosis, which affect your joints, muscles, and immune system. With the right care, you can take back control. Call WinMed today. Schedule your appointment and start feeling better. WinMed. Excellence lives here.
The Crestwood High School All Sports Boosters Club is proud to sponsor live coverage of the cadet sports seasons, from football and volleyball all the way to baseball and softball. The club's organized to help raise funds to help enhance the athletic performance of all student athletes and invite anyone interested in joining the club to contact them and check out their Facebook page and help support your Crestwood cadets. They wish the very best to all the young athletes in all of their sporting events. Go Cadets!
Welcome back to Crestwood softball field as the Waukon Indians take on the Crestwood Cadets. The Cadets lead 10 runs to 2 with the at-bats beginning. They're going to be facing pitcher Isabella Round so far, who's allowed 9 hits and 10 runs with 1 error and 1 walk on the day. And the first batter for the Cadets on the lineup will be Mackenzie Gallagher of this inning, who was most recently walked in the second inning and scored the 7th run for the Cadets, and had a sacrifice bunt in the 4th inning to help set up the Cadets in the first. Inside pitch is going to be just find its way in the zone for Rounds, which will be 0-1 count to start for Gallagher. 0 for 1 so far today. Here's the pitch. Just gets a piece of it, and that's going to be second strike off the foul. Rolls just over to the fence. On deck will be Ella Bergen, first baseman, as well as Blair Cummings, second baseman. That's going to be popped over to third base. Mishandling on the ball for third baseman for Waukon. That's going to be an error there for the first at-bat. That's going to be third baseman for the Indians. It's going to be Isabella Moody. And then Ella Bergen's up to bat now as well for the Cadets. That'll be Taylor Reese as well, looking to pinch run for Mackenzie Gallagher. Starts this inning off on base for the Cadets. Taylor Reese now is going to start this pinch running out for the Cadets in the bottom of the 4th. Currently up 10 runs to 2. Ella Bergen up to bat now. 1 runner on first. First pitch is a high one. 1-0 count so far. Bergen so far today has had a pretty solid outing with singles in both the first and second inning. An RBI single over to second base. She was scored the 8th run for the Cadets coming home. That's going to be an inside pitch again to give Ella Bergen a 2-0 lead in the count so far against Rounds. Rounds on the pitch, 2-0. Bergen pops it over to center, left field, and that's going to be caught. Great play there by left fielder for the Indians, Addie Olson, freshman. And that's going to leave Reese on base at first base with Blair Cummings up to bat now. With a nice pop over to center field in the first inning, and had a fielder's choice in the second. On the first pitch, it's going to be outside. They check Reese. She stays on first, or make that a strike on the first one. Blair gets it just in between the pitcher, and they're looking for the double play off the shortstop. And that's going to be a double play there. Excellent effort there by Mari Delaney to close out this inning, forcing the out off of Reese, trying to advance to second and throwing out to first base to Blair Cummings. And that's going to shut this inning out for the Cadets. Still up 10 runs to 2 here on 102.3 Super C Radio.
The 4th of July firecracker sale is lighting up the lot at Campsite RV in Cresco. Save up to $10,000 off MSRP on select new and used RVs with over 250 to choose from. Whether you're planning summer adventures or fall getaways, now's the time to upgrade your RV. Plus, with easy in-house financing, your dream RV is just a spark away. Visit CampsiteRV.com or stop by Highway 9 West in Cresco. Don't miss the 4th of July firecracker sale at Campsite RV, where the deals are lighting up the sky. Campsite RV, Highway 9 West, Cresco. Relaxation starts here.
Come to Campsite RV.
Go big at A&W with our always bigger, always better 1/3 pound double burgers. Choose from our double Papa Burger, double cheeseburger, or bacon double cheeseburger, packed with big time flavor. Try one today, only at A&W. At A&W, it's always a good time for a float. Date night, you'll love a float. Celebrating, you'll love a float. Craving creamy vanilla soft serve and made fresh root beer in a frosty mug? You'll definitely love a float. Only at A&W.
A&W, Highway 9 West in Cresco.
And we are back here at Crestwood softball field as the Cadets lead 10 runs to 2 at the top of the 5th inning. And the Waukon Indians are up to bat with Addie Olson, who most recently was forced out from Blair Cummings' throw to Ella Bergen make that in the third inning to start the at-bats. First pitch is going to be inside to start the count 1-0 for Olsen. Ainsley Teeling up the pitch. It's going to be popped up over to Teeling. And a little hopper gets the opportunity for Olsen to get on base. Just an unlucky bounce there for Teeling, who was anticipating the ball to roll towards her. Bounces him a little bit towards foul ball range and gives the Indians the opportunity to get on base, start this inning. It's going to be a bunt single there for Olsen. Teeling. Next up is going to be Mari Delaney, who's had the double in the first inning. First bunt attempt for Delaney is going to be on the outside after she pulls back. Fisk checked first base. Teeling, inside pitch is right down the middle to extend the count 1-1. Delaney hit a Delaney, who had that big double and scored the first run of this game for the Indians. Another inside pitch just finds a zone for Teeling, who takes the lead with the count 1-2. Indians at the top of their lineup for the third time today, looking to move Olsen to second base on this at-bat. Outside pitch, looking to force out over to first, and that is going to be a throw out there by Jordan Fisk over to Kieran Rupert to pick off Addie Olsen on the steal attempts. Great play there by Fisk, making the throw over to second base on the steal attempt, and that takes out the only base runner for the Indians to start this one out and sets the Cadets up with one out and a full count for Teeling. Or make that 2-2. Outside pitch once again for Delaney. And now it's going to extend the count to full. And that's going to be a walk this time for Teeling. Just gets it underneath in the dirt. And that's going to put another base runner for the Indians on first base on a walk this time. And that'll be the first walk of the game for Teely. After the Fisk throw out over to Rupert at second base, now it's going to be Isabella Moody, who was struck out in the third inning most recently. Another potential steal attempt. But this time it's going to be no good, as Fisk threw to Rupert over at second base, and Delaney runs back over to first just in time before they could pick her off. That's going to be a strike on the first pitch on the bunt attempt. Now it's going to be another bunt attempt. Gets just enough of it. Teely going to throw to first base to Cummings, and that's going to be a throw out for a fielder's choice over to first base, which moves Delaney over to second with 2 outs in this inning. McCormick now looking to extend the game as the Cadets lead by 8 at the top of the 5th. If they close this inning out without allowing a score, I believe the game is over. And that's going to be a pop over and falls just fair for Laney Peter trying to recover, and that's going to extend the game as Delaney moves over from second base to home off of the double by McCormick. The second double of the game for McCormick, the second RBI double, which sent home Mari for the second time in this game. Or make that Moody. Or no. McCormick now on second. Outside pitch is going to extend the count 1-0. Ellingson up to bat now with a single over to shortstop. That's going to be a pop over towards right field, and that's going to pop foul this time. Does count 1-1. Cadets now up 10 runs at 3, which the Indians extend the deficit, extend the game, at least to the end of this inning. Dealing on the pitch, 2 outs. That's going to be a little two-hopper over to Cummings, who throws it out to first base, and that's going to end the inning here. The Indians survive the top of the fifth and extend this game on 102.3 Super C Radio.
Hanson Tire Service in Cresco is your one-stop shop for all of your automotive service and repair. Farmers, remember, they sell and service all brands of commercial and farm tires, including on-site service of all sizes of tires. Call your locally owned one-stop shop for almost 60 years of continued service. Hanson Tire Service, Highway 9 West, Cresco, 563-547-2533. Cresco Bank and Trust is a proud supporter of Crestwood High School academics and athletics and wishes the best of luck to Crestwood's young athletes this season and hopes for great success in the classroom as well. Go Big Blue from everyone at Cresco Bank and Trust, a division of Decorah Bank and Trust, member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
And welcome back to Crestwood softball field as the Cadets lead the Waukon Indians 10-3 after the Indians extended it into the bottom of the fifth inning with a McCormick double, RBI double to send Mari Delaney home. Now the Cadets are up to bat now with Kyra Butikoffer to start this inning off. She's had a fairly solid day with a sacrifice fly in the bottom of the second, as well as an RBI single to second base in the first. Butikoffer up to bat against Rounds. Big swing and a miss there on the high pitch. Starts to count 0-1 for Butikoffer. On deck will be Peyton Ullum as well as Lainey Peter on the bottom of the lineup. We'll be back to the top. Next pitch is going to be a ball. On the windup, inside pitch just gets a piece of it for Butikoffer. Causes foul. Which gives her a 1-2 deficit on the count. If Crestwood scores a run this inning, the game will be over. Another outside pitch there to extend the series 2-2. Browns looking to close this one out. And a big swing and a miss will do that. The first strikeout of the game for the Cadets when batting for Butikoffer, which is going to send Peyton Ullum to the mound, who most recently had a 2-run home run at the bottom of the second inning with 2 RBI so far today. 2 for 2 so far on the at-bats. 1 out, no one on base. First pitch just finds its way in the corner for a strike. Another Cadet batter in the deficit so far. Rounds on the pitch. Big pop fly up to second base. And that's going to be a catch to extend the deficit to 2 outs now for the Cadets. That'll be second baseman Annalise Ellingson. That'll be Erica Allendick up to bat now for the Cadets. This time for Lainey Peter. In Lainey Peter's place. Make that. She was a pinch runner in the first and second innings, scoring the second and fifth run for the Cadets so far today. This will be her first at-bat. 2 outs so far for the Cadets, no one on base. Rounds to pitch. Hits it over to second base, who makes a quick play to first. Ellingson throws her out at first base, and that'll be Ruin Mathis on the plate to be a quick 1-2-3 for the Cadets. We'll be going to 6 innings here on 102.3 KCZQ.
At Cresco Motor Company, located on Highway 9 West in Cresco, they have a passion for vehicles. They also have a passion for helping customers. Put those 2 things together, and you get the most satisfying, hassle-free car buying experience you've ever had. They pride themselves on stocking an impressive inventory lineup of quality used cars, trucks, and SUVs that is sure to meet your needs. Service, reliability, and quality. That's Cresco Motor Company. Online at CrescoMotorCompany.com. Plus, there's online financing available. See website for details.
Atomic Pizza Pub features one-of-a-kind pizza crust or thin crust pizza piled high with your favorite toppings. Or enjoy an appetizer, pasta, or sandwich. Gluten-free options available. With dine-in or carry-out. Located in downtown Cresco. Open at 4 Wednesday through Sunday. A family-friendly and dining experience for all ages. Atomic Pizza Pub.
Where the flavors and the service are out of this world.
Welcome back to Crestwood Softball Field here on 102.3 KCZQ. We're in the top of the sixth as the Crestwood Cadets lead the Waukon Indians 10 runs to 3. And we are going to start off this at-bat for the Indians in the top of the sixth with Isabella Rounds. First pitch is an outside pitch to create a 1-0 count. Rounds got on base with an error over to shortstop. It was quickly retired after that in the fourth inning. 1-1 count after a big swing and a miss. Dealing on the mound. Pops it up over to shortstop, finds the sweet spot right in between center field. Peter's going to make a play on it, misses, and that's going to be the first base hit of the inning for the Indians. That'll be a single, 4 rounds at the top of the sixth. I will say that is towards shortstop. Just in between the area between shortstop and center and left field, which puts Rounds on base. And then Haley Miller will be pinch running for Rounds. She'll start on first base. Next up will be catcher for the Indians, Bryn Wellmiller. That's going to fall just fair. Bergen looking to make a play on it, tags her out, and sets up pinch runner Miller on second base now after the quick bunt attempt. That'll be a tag out at first. Now we have Ransom Mathis, which will be right fielder for the Indians. We're going to hit it over to Rupert, who makes the throw to first, and that's going to be a quick 6-3 throw out once again, which does advance Miller over to third base. The Indians looking to take advantage of the position, but they do have 2 outs, so they're playing on tricky waters here. Still down 10 runs to 3 against the Cadets at the top of the sixth. Teely to pitch. That's going to be almost hits the batter there for another hit by pitch. Just misses on the outside. Mathis, the first baseman for the Indians. Next up will be Addie Olson, left fielder, as well as Mari Delaney back to the top of the lineup. We get to that point. Dealing with another outside pitch. 2-0 count so far. Looking to remain solid here to close this game out. And that's going to find just inside the zone on an outside pitch to extend the series 2-1, giving Teeling a little bit of breathing room. High pitch now gives Mathis the 3-1 deficit. 2 outs. Miller on third base for the Indians, looking to extend to cut the deficit. Big swing and a miss there for Mathis. Creates the count full. 2 outs there for Rounds. Payoff pitch and a big swing and a miss to close this inning out with another strikeout there for Ainsley Teeling. And that's going to retire the top of the sixth inning. We'll be back for the Cadets at bats for the bottom of the sixth on 102.3 Super C Radio.
Great teams make great accomplishments. It takes commitment, hard work, and dedication to be a part of a winning team. And the team at Bernlauer's Auto Center in New Hampton is proud to support our local sports and extracurricular teams. For all your automotive needs, come see our team at Bernlauer's Auto Center in New Hampton. And congratulations to all student athletes on your commitment to your team.
cadet fever at O. Henry Stitches and Prints in downtown Cresco. Shop the Spirit Shop in the lower level for your cadet wear apparel, including sweatshirts, shorts, t-shirts, and jackets. Remember, a percentage of all retail Crestwood wear sales goes to the CHS All Sports Booster Club. Check out O. Henry's for all your screen printing and embroidery needs. O. Henry Stitches and Prints in downtown Cresco.
Softball field as the Waukon Indians take on the Crestwood Cadets. Crestwood Cadets lead 10 runs to 3, and for the fourth time in this game, Isabella Slaughter will be starting us off today with the beginning of the order. It'll be Isabella Slaughter, Ainsley Teeling, and then Jordan Fisk. So far, Slaughter is 1 for 3 today, with the first hit being in the first inning with a bunt single. First pitch for Slaughter. She's going to show bunt, pulls it back on the low pitch. Gives her a 1-0 lead on the count. Cadets had only one runner on base in the past 2 innings. Looking to answer. Bunt attempt there for Slaughter will be fouled going behind her. Evens the count up 1-1. Cadets looking to close out the Indians here in this inning. Here's the pitch. The bunt attempt hits up in the air, and it's going to be caught by third baseman for the Indians, Isabella Moody, which creates the first out of the inning for the Cadets. Now it's Ainsley Teeling up to bat, who also had a successful bunt in the first inning and was hit by pitch in the second, but a fly ball over to shortstop retired her in the third. First pitch is going to be low for Teeling. 1 out now for the Cadets, no runners on base. Rounds. Looking to keep up this hot streak. High pitch this time gives Teeling the 2-0 deficit against the pitchers of this game. Teeling pitching for the Cadets and Round pitching for the Indians. That one's going to find just inside the zone once again. Give Rounds a little bit of breathing room with a 2-1 count. 1 out so far in this inning. Here's the pitch. She's going to pop it over to first base, but it's going to fly foul. 2-2 now, with Teeling evening up the count on the foul ball. That's looking to get their first runner on base in the past couple innings. Here's the payoff pitch just on the inside. But it's going to be another hit by pitch there for Teeling. That's going to be the second one today, which would have extended the count full. Now we're going to get a pinch runner here for the Cadets. It looks like it will be, I believe, Kira Shea. And actually will be Ava Daly, sophomore for the Cadets. Pinch running for Teeling. He'll move over to first base. Ava Daly now making her first appearance on the day. She'll get over to first base for Teeling. Now it's going to be Jordan Fisk up to bat, who has most recently hit a fly ball over to center field, which was caught. Outside pitch. It's going to be the first ball. Windmiller checks first base for Daly. 1-0 count so far for Fisk. Had a single over to center field as well. Going to be a 2-hopper over to shortstop, looking to make a big throw over to first base. Who's going to mishandle the throw and lets Daly advance to third base now. Checks for home. First baseman recovers in time. Mathis gets the ball just in time. Fisk thought about going to second. Pulls back to first. Cadets now have runners on third and first base with pinch runner Ava Daly. We're going to close this one out, as well as Kira Shea moving over to first base. 2 pinch runners here for the Cadets with Mackenzie Gallagher up to bat next, but we're going to have a mound visit here for the Indians. With one out here, the Cadets look to retire this game. If a Cadet runner scores here, that will close this game out with the 8-run rule after 5. As the Cadets currently lead 10 runs to 3 with Ava Daly on third and Kira Shea on first. And looking at Mackenzie Gallagher so far on the day, she had a sacrifice bunt in the first inning as well, was walked in the second, and then got on base through error from third base on the fourth inning. So very successful day so far for Gallagher with one out to spare as well. Only one out for the Cadets. Looking to take advantage of this scoring position for Daly. Here's the pitch for Rounds. A little bit of a high ball, which allows Shea to advance. One 0 count so far for Gallagher. Gets on the inside. Gets a piece of it. Foul ball. Flies back over to the fence. 1-1 so far. One out as well for the Cadets. A big swing and miss there for Gallagher, which gives her a 1-2 deficit so far on the count. Here's Isabel Rounds on the pitch. This time it's going to be a low ball. Hits the dirt, but catcher recovers. Way Miller sends the count 2-2. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be popped over to center field looking for a sacrifice play. That's going to be Ava Daly looking to run over home, and that is going to end the game for the Cadets as they take the win with Ava Daly making home on the sacrifice fly over to center field for Mackenzie Gallagher. The Cadets will take this one 11 runs to 3.
Yeah, we'll keep it right here, Gabe. We'll wrap this stuff up here and move on. As I'll give you a quick. I'll let you do the sponsors here, Gabe. I'll total up the totals.
All right. Well, KCZQ sponsors include Hanson Tire Service, Atomic Pizza Pub, Don Anderson Insurance, Gosh's Plumbing and Heating, Cresco Motor Company, Regional Health Services of Howard County, all of Cresco, CUSB Bank, online at CUSB.com, Sovereign Grain of Schley, DHS All Sports Boosters, CIA Insurance, Harvey's Used Vehicles, the Oxen Run Spirits and Gifts, Campsite RV, CPU, Lake Tag Lawn and Garden, all of Cresco, My Broadband, My Energy, Johnson Comfort Systems of Lime Springs, Route 63 Travel Plaza, Larson Dust Control, Keller Complete Lawn Service, all of Cresco, all of Chester make that, WinMed of Decorah, Vern Lars Auto Center, New Hampton, A&W, H&R Block, Northeast Iowa Motors, Fisk Farm and Home, Signs and Designs, Fawcett Earthworks, The Cresco Shopper, all of Cresco, Sisson and Associates of Charles City, A&J's Construction, Cresco Bank and Trust, O. Henry Stitches and Prints, Colgan Water Conditioning, Suzy Q's, Shotzi's Body Shop, all of Cresco, B&B Insurance Agency of Cresco and Decorah.
All right, thanks, Gabe. Here's our unofficial line score for this evening for the Crestwood Cadets. 11 runs on 9 hits, 1 error, and 3 runners left on base. The Waukon Indians, 3 runs on 7 hits, 2 errors, and 5 runners left on base. Isabel Rounds takes the loss for the Indians. She walked 1, struck out 1, and hit 2 batters. Ainsley Keeling picks up the win for the Cadets. She walked 1 and struck out 5. The evening Cadets will improve to 13-5 on